弟兄姊妹平安。
Brother, sister, peace with you.
嗱，喺11月份咧講到豐盛。
Remember the topic is about abundance.
你嘅生命豐盛嗎？
Is your life is
或者
abundant?
你想唔想喺你嘅生命裏邊更加嘅豐盛咧？
Do you have your life be more abundant?
嗱，我哋今日咧喺嗰個掛牆日曆嗰個經文咧，就係今日我哋講道嘅經文。
So the scripture on the hanging calendar is the scripture that you want to talk about today.
嗱，我哋希望咧能夠透過咁樣嘅講道，幫助大家能夠懂得點樣去睇聖經，以致你每一日嘅靈修更加嘅豐盛。
So we would like to help the way that you understand how to do the devotion with the hanging calendar.
嗱，弟兄姊妹，我唔知你有冇一個咁樣嘅經歷？
Brothers, I'm not sure you have such an experience.
如果你有個機會咧，教嗰啲細路咧學做計數咧，
You have the opportunity to teach children to do math.
如果個細路走到你面前咧，呢條數點計啊？
With the children come to you, with a child come to you and ask how to calculate this formula.
嗱，你嘗試好有耐性去教佢嘅時候咧，其實佢冇乜耐性聽你嘅。
You may have a patience to teach in detail, but the kid may not have patience to learn.
因為嗰個小朋友咧，通常佢最期望係咩啊？你話佢答案俾佢知。
The kids may just want a strict answer.
你啲細路係咪咁嘅 Patrick？
The kids
好
like
耐
that.
冇教數啦。但係好多時喺我哋或者喺人嘅裏面嘅時候，我哋好期望即刻有一個嘅答案。
We always want to get a strict answer immediately.
但係一個聰明嘅父母咧，你知道咁樣唔幫到佢。
But as a smart parent, you know this is not helpful.
你會慢慢坐低，你會教佢點樣計，
So you sit down and teach in detail how to do the math.
點樣諗。
What's the proper way to think about?
如果佢知道點樣去諗嘅時候咧，將來係遇到同類嘅問題，佢知道點樣去處理啊嘛。
You didn't know the proper way of thinking, then you know how to deal with it in this same problem.
喺我哋同神嘅關係嘅裏邊，會唔會往往都係咁樣？
With that, our relation with the God is similar.
我哋面對問題，好希望神即刻去處理咗呢個問題，以至哇，我哋哈利路亞咁樣。
So we may have an issue and then want God to deal with it immediately too.
咁但係我哋有冇諗過喺我哋嘅經歷嘅背後，神容許佢嘅用意係乜嘢？
Have you ever think of that? What's the God the will after all this experience?
或者以至我哋將來面對同樣或者同類嘅問題嘅時候，我哋同樣可以攞到一啲嘅屬靈嘅原則去面對。
So when we face the same issue again in the future, you can apply the same spiritual principle to deal with it.
嗱，弟兄姊妹嘅時候，今日喺馬太福音第9章27到31節嘅時候，記載有兩個盲眼嘅去到揾耶穌幫助去醫治。
Today we talk about on Book of Matthew. There's a two blind men in chapter 9 that go to in front of Jesus, ask for healing.
嗱，你留意咧，經文咧記載唔多。
There's not much the passage is short.
但係咧喺嗰個細節上面嘅時候，其實有一啲嘅屬靈嘅原則喺當中流露咗出嚟。
We look at the details. There are lots of spiritual principle there.
嗱，如果耶穌只係一個普通嘅醫生嘅時候咧，嗱，你睇個醫生，你而家啲醫生都唔會同你講咁耐。
So if Jesus just a regular doctor, then you can expect that Jesus won't spend too much time on those two men.
嗱，凳都未坐暖嘅時候，你已經好 OK 頭痛啊，咁啊好啦，開呢隻泰諾俾你啦。
So even nowadays, when you see a doctor, when you have pain, just doctor prescribe the Tylenol and kind of get rid of you very quick.
嗱，如果你耶穌只係一個醫生嘅時候，咁嗰兩個人想耶穌醫 ，OK， 1、2、3，醫好走 ，OK。
So Jesus as a doctor, then just really quickly, Jesus can heal them and let them go.
耶穌係容讓佢哋有時間，係讓佢哋嘅信心能夠藉呢個體驗能夠建造起嚟。
But Jesus do it differently. That they given time to experience their faith, express the faith.
今日弟兄姊妹喺我哋嘅遭遇嘅裏面，可能神都同樣容讓我哋喺呢啲遭遇嘅裏面，讓我哋嘅信心能夠被建立起嚟，以致你嘅信心更加嘅豐富。
So nowadays, just do the same thing that we let us to do the experience, so we can establish our faith.
嗱，讓我哋透過呢段經文嘅時候，讓我哋能夠喺當中攞到呢個屬靈嘅原則，幫助我哋喺信心上邊能夠有根有基。
So for this passage, I hope that we can get the spiritual principle to build the root of our faith.
嗱，你留意咧喺27節嘅時候，耶穌請聽我讀啊！耶穌從那裏往前走，有2個瞎子跟着他，喊着說：大衛嘅子孫，可憐我吧。
Verses 27 said, as Jesus went on from there, 2 blind men followed him, calling out, "Have mercy on us, son of David."
嗱，呢2個嘅盲眼嘅人去到揾耶穌，佢嘅期望係乜嘢？
What's the expectation of the 2 blind men that follow Jesus?
嗱，弟兄姊妹，如果你係呢2個瞎眼嘅人，你去到耶穌嘅跟前，你期望係乜嘢？
If you were the 2 blind men and you're in front of Jesus, what your expectation would be?
我哋好期望耶穌喺當中醫治我哋。
We want Jesus to heal us.
醫生佢幫我。
Oh, doctor, just heal me.
但喺當中嘅時候咧，你會留意呢2個嘅盲眼嘅人咧，佢唔係咁樣稱呼耶穌，喺當中佢稱呼耶穌係大衛嘅子孫。
But here we even see that the 2 blind men is not calling Jesus just a doctor; he's calling him the son of David.
嗱，對於我哋嚟講嘅時候咧，呢個稱呼咪大衛嘅子孫咯。
For us, wow, what's so special? Just son of David.
但係喺猶太人嘅背景嘅裏邊，一講到大衛嘅子孫嘅時候，佢哋會即刻諗起嗰個彌賽亞嗰個救世主。
But according to Jewish background culture, when son of David really means the Messiah.
因為咧喺撒母耳記下第7章嘅時候咧，講到當大衛想為神建殿，跟住神俾佢嘅應許，其中嘅應許佢嘅後裔。
So in 2 Samuel chapter 7, when David tried to build the temple for the Lord, and but they in talk about the promise.
咁跟住喺當中嘅時候咧，咁神俾大衛其中嘅應許話：我要作他的父，你嘅後裔嘅父，但係他要作我嘅子。
And the promise, I will be his father, and he will be my son.
咁即係換句話講嘅，神喺大衛嘅後裔裏邊會興起一個嘅救世主。呢個除咗係當時講到體會到係所羅門，其實係一個雙重嘅預言，講到將來嘅彌賽亞。
So that means then the Lord will raise a son from the God that in the something sung is Solomon, but actually is meaning to the Jesus Christ.
因為呢度係一個 double 嘅 fulfillment 嚟嘅。
So it is called mean the double fulfillment.
咁喺當中嘅時候咧，呢2個瞎子嚟到耶穌嘅面前，去講到佢話大衛嘅子孫嘅時候，彌賽亞救世主，你可憐我吧。
When the 2 blind men come to Jesus, he's calling out that, "Oh, Messiah, have mercy on me."
嗱，呢一度嘅時候咧，呢2個人嘅稱呼，佢認定一樣嘢就係你係救世主，你係我哋唯一嘅救世主。
So what that 2 blind men mean is Jesus is the only savior, and he's the only Messiah.
如果佢哋只稱呼耶穌係其醫生嘅時候，我過去相信喺佢人生裏面揾過好多嘅醫生。
So if the 2 blind men just call Jesus or a doctor, that means it's just one of them among the doctors that have been searching for.
嗱，如果佢哋只係從一個咁樣嘅觀念去揾嘅時候，耶穌只係其中芸芸醫生嘅當中其中嘅一位。
So if that's the way they're thinking, then this is one of the doctors that have been looking at.
如果你稱呼耶穌係彌賽亞，應該係神大衛嘅子孫嘅時候，佢哋認定嘅時候，你係嗰位要嚟拯救我嗰個，現在我需要你拯救。
So, but the two blind men calling Jesus the Messiah, that means you are the only one can save me.
弟兄姊妹，今日當我哋有需要嘅時候，你會嚟到耶穌嘅面前，你係期望耶穌係其中一個幫助你嘅人，定係耶穌係你同我唯一嘅？
So, brother and sister, when we try to seek for the help from the Lord, are we just looking at Lord Jesus as one of the help that we can get, or Jesus is the only one that can save us?
使徒行傳裏邊講到嘅時候，除他以外別無拯救，因為在天下人間再沒有賜下別嘅名，我哋可以靠着佢得救。
So at Act 4:12 it said, "So salvation is found in no one else, for there's no other name under heaven given to men by which we must be saved."
嗱，第二方面嘅時候，你會留意咧，呢兩個孩子點樣稱呼耶穌咧？佢話大衛嘅子孫，可憐我吧。
Also, we look at how the blind man said this. He say that, "Have mercy on us."
嗱，呢一個可憐我吧嘅時候咧，呢兩個嘅人有一個嘅認定。
So when there's something they Peter affirmed that about have the mercy.
唔係因為自己係配得。
That means they it's something they worth to get.
嗱，你明唔明啊？如果我覺得我配得嘅時候，喂，你幫我啊！
Be something worth to get and say, "Oh, just say help me."
我好人嚟㗎。
I'm a good person.
我幫到好多人㗎。
I've been helping lots of people.
你應該幫我喎，神。
And you should help me, God.
咁呢個態度嘅時候，唔係嗰兩個人處嘅一個態度。
But this is not the attitude that the two blind men have that time.
呢兩個人佢知道自己唔配，但係佢認定一樣嘢，我所相信呢位嘅神，佢係滿有憐憫嘅神。
But the two blind believe they are not worth to get the help, but the God they believe have mercy.
因為佢喺由細到大嘅時候，特別睇翻撒母耳記嘅上嘅裏邊講到嘅時候，神好喜愛憐恤，不喜愛祭祀。呢位嘅神係一種充滿憐憫嘅神。
So in 2 Samuel they say, "I deserve mercy, but not sacrifice." And this is more is like.
如果你有留意嘅時候咧，我冇打出嚟啊。不過馬太福音9章第35、36節嘅時候講到耶穌走遍各城各鄉，佢見到人如羊走迷，佢就憐憫佢哋。
So in Matthew chapter
9 and around the 35 to 36, and mention about the God go for all the village. And he saw all the people like a sheep without a shepherd. God have mercy on them. 弟兄姊妹，神憐憫，所以喺第9章一個嘅總結嘅時候，係擺翻喺神係一位滿有憐憫嘅神。
So God had mercy. So in chapter 9, they conclude that the God is full of mercy.
姊妹嘅時候，我好相信你同我好似呢兩個嘅盲嘅人嘅時候，因為個背景，佢哋一定有信心。
So when we look at those two blind men, because the background, they should have faith.
但係我哋要好似呢兩個人嚟到神嘅面前嘅時候，有一個嘅認定，我哋嘅信心單單建基喺呢位充滿憐憫嘅彌賽亞嘅身上。
So, but when we like the two blind men, we should be when we go in front of God, that our faith should be just based on He's the only Messiah.
弟兄姊妹，當我哋喺11月尾嘅時候準備過聖誕節。
When we are in November, we are preparing for the Christmas.
嚟緊星期一會落單啊，係咪？
But we lock down on next week. starting next
係啊
week.
，lockdown 唔可以周圍走啊。
Because lockdown we cannot kind of go outside.
我哋唔好淨係諗好多唔方便嘅事情。
So we may also think of lots of inconvenience in this case.
可能當我哋 lockdown 嘅時候，更多嘅時間我哋坐低靜一靜嘅時候，我哋諗一諗今日我哋嘅信心。
But because the lockdown is a good opportunity, so we can really think about.
你係因為 lockdown 充滿憂愁，定係我哋安靜嘅時候？冇錯，我哋 lockdown，但係我哋嘅神係永遠不變㗎。
So we can take opportunity that piece of time and think, oh, because the lockdown we are worried, or should be we get the message that the God we have is never changed.
佢係你我唯一嘅彌賽亞，係我哋唯一嘅拯救。
The Lord is the only salvation or the only Messiah we have.
你嘅信心係咪單單嘅依靠佢？
Or is our faith only based on the Lord?
當我哋繼續睇呢段經文，
When we go further into the passage,
嗱，我哋會留意喺27、28節咧，咁樣去有一個咁樣嘅時間嘅情況嘅表達。
in verses 27 and 28, there is a description in time series.
嗱，你27節個裏邊講到咧，耶穌從那裏往前走，有兩個嘅瞎子跟着他。
Verse said that Jesus went on from there, 2 blind men followed him.
嗱，之前咧講到耶穌醫治12年血漏病嘅婦人，又醫治一個管會堂嘅女兒。
So before this happened, that there's the story about healing the woman subject to the bleeding, and another healing the daughter of the synagogue leader.
咁跟住嘅時候，耶穌跟住走嘅時候咧，喺路上就遇到呢兩個嘅瞎子啦。
After his 2 cases, then Jesus met those 2 blind men here.
但係你會留意第28節嘅時候，耶穌進了房子，瞎子就來到他跟前，耶穌先講嘢。
But when you look at verse 28, when he had came inside, the blind man came to him, and then Jesus started to say something.
即係換句話講，耶穌喺路上一路行，呢兩個人一路去呼求耶穌嘅幫，耶穌冇去回應佢，但直至到入到房子裏邊，耶穌去回應佢哋。
So that means the 2 blind men had been calling for Jesus along the way, but Jesus didn't respond until they gone indoors.
呢段時間有幾長唔知。
How long that been the 2 blind men following Jesus? We don't know.
可能好短，或者好耐，可能好長嘅。
Maybe a short time, maybe a long time.
但係點解神唔即刻去回應佢咧？
But why not just Jesus respond to them immediately?
嗱，弟兄姊妹嘅時候，我哋好期望你有咩嘢求就即刻耶穌我俾低啊嘛。
So what our expectation is when we call for Jesus, Jesus respond immediately.
嗱，之前嘅時候講到呢兩個嘅人係跟隨住耶穌。
Earlier we talked about those 2 blind men had been following Jesus.
哇！如果即刻醫好，冇問題啊。
So with they heal immediately, there's not a problem.
試想像一下，如果你係兩個盲眼嘅其中嘅一個，當你呼求耶穌，耶穌唔睬你喎。
Imagine that if you were one of the 2 blind men, and you have been calling out for Jesus, and Jesus didn't respond to you.
你會點咧？
What are you going to respond?
喂，佢冇反應喎。
We just there's no response from Jesus.
耶穌冇講一句嘢都冇啊，冇聲喎。走啦
Jesus didn't even talk to us or say anything.
可能你同我嘅時候冇反應，你仲唔走咧？你做咩搏鬧啊？
If we were them, we just give up and just go away.
如果你咁嘅反應，你已經係好人啦。
So it's not that bad for such a.
我唔知你會唔會咁樣有以下嘅反應。
But you may even have such response.
喂，耶穌你有冇搞錯？我叫咗你咁多聲，你唔幫你停一停啊！
So maybe just complain that, oh, I've been calling you so many times. Even if you don't respond, you can maybe just stop and do something.
幫咪幫啦，唔幫我巴閉咩？
So, well, if you don't respond and don't help, well, it's okay. Well, you're so great.
如果你係兩個其中一個，你會唔會咁做？
Will be if you were one of those two blind men.
係啊，你梗係話唔會啦。
Well, right now you may say, oh no, I don't. But
但係啊，可能喺我哋個內心嘅深處裏邊係浮現呢一種嘅控訴啊。
But we may be just thinking in our mind that, oh, we have such a kind of.
牧師，你點知啊？
So, pastor, how do you know that?
見你之後，你對耶穌開始冷淡，咪知咯。
When we know that you have been you're treating Jesus or Lord that not as eager in the past.
可能你會又唔係放棄，又唔係投訴，但不過冇所謂啦，算啦。
So you may not give up and complain, but just you don't respond and just kind of doesn't matter.
弟兄姊妹，我唔知你會唔會係咁樣反應。
I'm not sure you have such an attitude or response.
如果你嘅反應你係咁樣嘅時候，可能你嘅信仰嘅態度其實係可有可無，幫就幫得，唔幫冇所謂啦，我自己搞翻掂啦。有時我哋嘅信仰會唔會擺咗喺呢種嘅狀態裏邊？
But will you be in a situation or the attitude that, oh, it doesn't matter, you have excuse, not how it doesn't matter, that are you your faith or belief status in such a condition?
嗱，你會留意呢兩個嘅核子嘅時候，有嗰個反應值得我哋一個反省。
But we should reflect on how those two blind men respond. Is that
佢有需要，
they have the need.
去呼求耶穌，
They call out for Jesus,
可能冇即時嘅幫助，
although there's no immediate response
甚至冇反應，
and no response at all.
佢心裏冇搖動，
But their beliefs not shaking.
佢繼續專心嘅堅持，直至到耶穌有反應為止啊！
That they insist to following Jesus until Jesus responds.
弟兄姊妹，神可能喺我哋嘅人生嘅裏邊，當我哋呼求，俾我哋一定嘅考驗啊！
So maybe we experience the same thing that when we call for help, and it could be actually as a test.
你會抱乜嘢嘅態度？
So what attitude you have?
你會唔會有一種堅持，直至到神嘅手去被搖動，神去回應你自己嘅呼求？
Will you be persist that to call for Jesus until we get a response from the God?
弟兄姊妹，喺你嘅祈禱事項會唔會有一啲嘅以祈禱事項，你曾經好懇切嘅祈禱，當神好似冇回應你嘅時候，你已經放棄咗啦。
Brothers and sisters, do you have some prayers item you have been pray for seriously, but you don't see the response, and then we just give up?
甚至你可能已經神冇答你嘅，不過你已經幫神答埋嘅時候，呢個唔係神嘅旨意啦。
Or we don't see the response, and then we just kind of it our own way.
但耶穌喺路加福音第18章，你做一件咁樣嘅事。
So in the book of Luke, chapter 18, there's a story like that.
耶穌係特別咧講咗一個嘅比喻，去鼓勵人要常常嘅禱告，不可灰心。
So just to make a parable in Luke 18 that we have to pray consistently and don't give up.
嗱，嗰個比喻咧係講到咧有一個嘅寡婦去求一個不義嘅官求佢為佢伸冤。
So there's a story about a widow that go to the unjudged judge to ask for help.
呢個不義嘅官咧，佢好似都唔想幫啊。
But that unjudged judge doesn't want to help.
但係呢個婦人咧不斷喺當中咧又敲門，又喺當中日日煩佢。呢個不義嘅官因為佢煩啊，所以跟住咧就回應佢啊。
But the reader keep asking and bothering him. So the unjust judge tried to avoid the woman's bothering. So anyway, eventually the judge agreed.
嗱，好多信徒咧就睇呢度嘅時候，就個腦裏邊一直諗：哦，咁耶穌係不義嘅官咩？
So lots of believers, when you look at this story, so okay, so that means Jesus is the unjust judge.
耶穌唔係話自己係不義啊。
But no, really, Jesus not telling people that he is unjust.
而係話一個就算咁不義嘅人，因為呢個婦人嘅懇求，佢都會起嚟為佢伸冤啊嘛。
But the story is about the even unjust judge. Yeah, when is been calling by the woman many times, then he will still step up and help the woman.
所以神嘅選民喺呢個世代裏邊向神去呼籲嘅時候，神要快快為佢伸冤啊！
But as God's selected person, even when we ask for help, then God will do this when we do the same thing.
所以呢一個嘅事鼓勵我哋唔好灰心，要繼續常常嘅祈禱，直至神嘅手有回應為止。
So to tell us that we have to keep on praying and don't give up until we get the help from God.
呢度嘅時候咧，第8節停咗喺一個咁樣嘅對話裏邊。
So in verses 8, stop such a conversation there.
嗱，本來耶穌已經講完啦，鼓勵完佢哋要常常祈禱嘛。
So Jesus has finished his message that we encourage people to keep praying.
而第8節後半節嘅講話，然而人子來嘅時候，遇見世上有信的麼？
In here, Jesus said again that, however, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth?
即係耶穌預言嘅時候，佢話：當我再嚟嘅時候，其實耶穌好期望有冇啲咁樣有信心嘅人咧？
That means when Jesus returned, that he is asking, will he see such a person that have such a faith?
弟兄姊妹，當耶穌再嚟嘅時候，或者耶穌喺你嘅人生嘅裏邊去睇你嘅信心，你嘅信心係咪不斷嘅堅持，不灰心咁樣嘅情況？
So when Jesus returned, or even Jesus look at our faith right now, is our faith is in such a stance that is persistency, and we don't give up.
哎呀，弟兄姊妹，當我哋喺聖誕節期間嘅時候，我哋有機會安靜，你諗一諗你自己嘅信心。
So during Christmas time, we may have the opportunity to be have enjoy some peaceful time. Then we reflect ourselves. Do we have
會唔會喺你嘅人生嘅裏邊有一啲嘅祈禱，有一啲嘅盼望，或者一啲嘅要求，對神嘅要求，你已經覺得神會幫你放棄？
Do you have any prayers item or any hope or wish that we don't? We've been praying for a long time and we don't. We have and
可能一啲嘅人，可能一啲嘅人，或者你最親嘅人，佢哋嘅信仰。
That may be related to the some person we have close relationship about their faith.
或者係你一啲嘅所認識嘅人嘅品格。
Or the play is we're thinking about the attitude of those people we close to us.
或者我哋面對一啲嘅疾病。
Or those items that relate to our sickness.
你嘅信心有冇放棄咗？
Do you have a persistent faith to keep on?
喺呢個信仰嘅路上邊，你係咪繼續去跟隨，繼續去呼求大衛嘅兒子可憐我吧？
On our way or the path to the our faithful belief, we keep calling that Messiah, have mercy on us.
真正嘅信心，一個豐富嘅信心咧，係喺我哋嘅裏邊唔放棄，不斷堅持，直到神應允聽你嘅祈禱。
So a a true faith or abundant faith is that we keep on and persist until we get the response from God.
弟兄姊妹，我哋留意第28、29節。
Also, we pay attention to verse 28 and 29.
嗱，當耶穌同嗰兩個嘅癱子嘅對話嘅時候，耶穌有兩個嘅回應咧，值得我哋去留意。
So we should pay attention to the two response that Jesus have to the two blind men.
嗱，呢兩個人去呼求耶穌幫助嘅時候，耶穌停低喺房子裏邊停低，跟住向呢兩個人講咗第一句嘅説話。
So when Jesus had gone indoors and he stopped and said that.
佢唔係問你想要我乜嘢喎，而係問你們信我能作這事麼？
So Jesus is not asking what they want. Instead, they ask, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?"
弟兄姊妹啊，
But
可能你走去揾耶穌嘅時候，你都預咗耶穌會問你嘢，但問咩啊？我係啊，我隻眼啊好耐冇睇唔到啊，最近睇唔到啊，最近因為電腦多，所以眼花花。
So yeah, when we get in front of Jesus or the God, then we may expect that God may just ask us what's the condition, the health condition we have.
係咪？我哋睇醫生，我哋都預備定會醫生問我哋嘢，我梗係答噶嘛，係咪？佢唔問我都要講噶。
So when we go to the doctors and we have been prepared lots of questions to ask, even the doctor don't ask, we still bring up a question.
可能嗰兩個癱子根本冇期望嘅耶穌問佢哋問題先喎，主動。
So even the two blind men didn't expect that Jesus will ask first before they ask.
耶穌擺咗個問題喺你哋面前嘅時候，你們信我能作這事麼？
So when Jesus brought up the question that, do you believe that I am able to do this?
嗱，弟兄姊妹嘅時候，當我哋去呼求耶穌嘅時候，耶穌可能同樣問：喂，你信唔信佢可以做到先？
So when we ask for Jesus or God to help, and then we may say, "Oh, well, I mean, do you think that God can do this?"
嗱，可能你話：喂，我唔信你，又唔會揾你咧。
So, wow, if I don't believe you, I'm not good, and I won't seek you.
都唔係㗎，我哋睇醫生啦，我哋都唔信個醫生，係咪？睇完我哋都唔食藥，係咪？我哋都揾㗎喎。
For example, when we see the doctor, right, we believe doctor, but even though the doctor prescribed the medicines or medications, we don't take it anyway.
嗱，你會留意啲兩個人答得好快，主我信。
But those two men respond quickly, "Yes, Lord."
嗱，弟兄姊妹，我相信耶穌要我哋靜一靜諗一諗。喂，當我哋去呼求神嘅時候，你究竟信唔信得過佢可以幫助你？
So I believe that Jesus wants us to have a pause and think about that. When we ask for help, are you really believe that God can help?
人非有信就不能得神嘅喜悅，因為到神面前來的人必須信有神，且信他賞賜那尋求他的人。
And without faith, it's impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him.
如果你唔係完全真心嚟到神面前，你唔能夠得到神嘅喜悅啊！
Will you not completely have belief or have true belief that in front of God, then you can get the peace from God?
耶穌當問你信？你哋信佢能作這事嗎？
When Jesus asked, "Do you believe that He can do it?"
如果我哋跟住我哋嚟緊嘅時間，我哋祈禱呼求神幫助。如果心裏邊浮現一個問題，你信神能作這事麼？你會點樣回答？
So when we when we ask for help and then we have a question in our mind that, do you believe that the God can help? What's your response?
你唔好咁快答住。
Don't answer immediately right now.
我相信耶穌唔係要求我哋答乜嘢嘅答案，耶穌要我哋透過呢個問題去調教我哋嘅信心，而我哋繼續去到神嘅面前。
I believe God is not expecting the answer. Instead, he's expecting us to reflect ourselves. What is our faith we have right now?
呢兩個人咧就冇期望耶穌跟住會講乜嘢，不過佢好快答咗我信。
So those two blind men, I mean, is not expecting anything, but anyway, they answer quickly that they believe.
耶穌就好妙喎，跟住咁樣回答佢話：哦，你哋信啦 ，OK， 好，我摸你眼睛 ，OK， 就照你哋嘅信，給你們成就了吧。
But Jesus responded anyway that he touched their eyes and said, according to your faith, will it be done to you?
嗱，弟兄姊妹，如果耶穌問你，你信佢能夠作這事嗎？你即刻答信嘅時候咧，跟住耶穌同你講話，我就照你嘅信心作這事吧。你會唔會打個答
So we ask for help, and then and Jesus asked us, do you believe I can do that? And then you respond immediately yes, and then Jesus respond that, oh, I will, it will be done to you, and then will you be surprised?
哎呀，我哋嘅信心夠唔夠咧？
And they will say, oh, do we have enough faith?
哎呀，如果唔得嘅時候，咁我咪我冇信心。
So we may have thought that we may not have enough faith, and then
嗱，試想像一下，如果耶穌講完嘅時候冇醫好喎。
So imagine that after that, God didn't really heal the two blind men.
咁即係即刻即係代表我哋根本唔信呢個耶穌。
That means that well, we can't believe you.
或者醫好兩隻，但係好翻一隻，咁點算咧？會唔會代表我對耶穌一半一半？
Or just Jesus to heal partially, like just one eye to two eyes. So what are we going to respond?
嗱，當一半嘅時候，你即刻對神嘅信心有搖動，連嗰半都冇埋添可能。
But anyway, when we just happen healed partially, then we just lost our own all the faith.
弟兄姊妹，如果好翻晒咧
But what happened is we all healed completely.
弟兄姊妹，今日好多時我哋祈求或者我哋希望神幫助我哋，如果唔得嘅時候，可能我哋嘅心諗係神究竟掂唔掂？不過唔講得出嚟。
So we may, brother and sister, currently when we ask for help and then we didn't see the help and we don't get healed, we only ask for, then we just, oh.
我哋從來冇諗過，究竟我哋對神嗰種嘅信靠嘅心有幾多？
So we may think that God doesn't really help, and then, but do we ever reflect ourselves how much faith we have on to God?
弟兄姊妹，如果今日問你，你對神有信心，我哋個個企得喺度嘅，或者坐喺度聽嘅，我哋都有信心。
But today, when I ask all the brothers and sisters that, how's your faith? Say you may respond, say yes.
如果神要醫你，醫幾多好咧？
But then, if God want to heal you, how much He should heal?
如果神話照你嘅信心給你成就，你會好成點咧？
So if God said, I will do it according to your faith. So how much healing we will get?
弟兄姊妹，當我哋睇馬可福音第9章發生一件咁樣嘅事。
So when you look at Matthew chapter 9, there's a story about
有一個嘅人去帶着佢嘅兒女被污鬼纏磨咗好耐，係講唔到嘢。
So there was a man, he been processed by the demons for a long time. He can't speak.
咁跟住咧，嗰啲嘅人去揾耶穌幫啦。
So the people asked Jesus to help.
耶穌啊！我嘅仔被鬼附着講唔到嘢啊！我揾過你啲門徒啊，佢哋幫唔到喎。
So they say, oh, there's a man that had been possessed by demon, but I asked your disciple to help, but they can't.
嗱，今日第19節咧，耶穌即咩？
What's the response from Jesus in verse 19?
耶穌佢話：唉， 不信嘅世代啊，我在你們這裏要到幾時呢？我忍耐你們要到幾時？
So, oh, unbelieving generation, Jesus reply, how long shall I stay with you? How long shall I put up with you?
嗱，我唔知耶穌愛啲乜嘢嘢，
I'm not sure exactly why.
或者我咁講啊，唔知愛邊個嚇？
Or I don't know what Jesus.
Yeah, what Jesus will respond to？ 可能係嗰個帶個仔嚟嗰個。
Maybe the one that who bring the his son that was.
可能佢講到佢嘅門徒啊。
Or maybe the Jesus talking to the disciples.
可能兩者都有包埋其他嘅人喎。
Or maybe both of them, or even include everyone.
耶穌嘅回應嘅時候，不信世，我要忍耐到你要到幾時？
So Jesus responded, "Oh, unbelieving generation, how long shall I stay with you?"
弟兄姊妹，如果耶穌今日面對我哋呢個世代，如果耶穌要點樣回應？
So with Jesus in this moment right now, how Jesus will respond?
哎呀，耶穌啊，啲疫情仲未啊？
And Jesus, oh, the pandemic still is here.
啊，有越嚟越多啊，仲一啲2萬啊，3萬6萬啊。
And the infection cases keep increasing.
耶穌啊，你幾時嬲完啊？
Oh, Jesus, when you stop your anger?
你將所有嘅責任俾晒耶穌嘅時候啊，耶穌可能問你：你究竟有冇信過我？
So when we pass all those responsibility or the blame to Jesus, Jesus may respond that, oh, do you have ever believed in me?
耶穌會嘅反應係：唉，不信嘅世代。
So just one, we respond maybe just, oh, unbelieving generation.
哎呀，呢個不信嘅世代。
Oh, unbelieving generation.
或者耶穌講話：有冇搞錯？呢個不信嘅世代。
Oh, what's wrong with this? Oh, unbelieving generation.
嗱，你會留意整個嘅過程嘅時候，耶穌嘅能力、信心係在乎耶穌嘅能力，但係喺呢一度嘅時候，耶穌亦都要讓你同我去反省你嘅信心啊，你嘅信靠有幾多？
So here, Jesus wanted to reflect ourselves that what's the faith we have, because our faith depends just on God's strength.
神未按你嘅要求去完成嘅時候，你第一個反應就係耶穌得唔得？喂，你諗一諗，其實神要我哋諗一諗，究竟你有冇信靠佢？
So when we see we don't meet the expectation, but do we have ever trust in God?
聖誕節值得我哋持守一樣嘢。
During Christmas time, we need to hold firm on one thing.
神嘅兒子無條件嚟到，
God's Son have come to earth unconditionally.
佢出生，佢從死裏面嘅復活，佢已經證明自己係滿有能力嘅神。
So since he was born and then raised from the dead, he can truly believe that he is the God with all the strength.
聖誕節值得我哋去反省，我哋對佢嘅倚靠有幾多咧？
The Christmas time is a good opportunity to reflect ourselves, how much trust we have in Him.
信心，
Faith.
在信嘅人凡事都能。
Everything is possible for him who believes.
弟兄姊妹，
Brothers and sisters,
你面對緊嘅嘢不難，係咪因為你缺乏咗信心？
the things we have been facing seems impossible. Is it because our belief?
你嘅信心需要點樣去調教咧？
So, brothers, how we should adjust our faith?
點解喺你同我嘅人生裏邊缺乏好多神蹟上邊嘅經歷？
So why during our experience we don't experience much of God's miracle?
會唔會我哋缺乏咗對神 嗰種嘅信心。
Could it be because we don't have enough faith or trust?
求主幫助你同我嚟到主嘅面前祈求主啊！我哋信不足，求你幫助，以致我哋能夠擁有一種嘅能夠移山嘅信心，喺我哋禱告裏邊，喺我哋基督徒嘅信仰裏邊，豐豐富富經歷神嘅大能。
So let us we should have pray for that. We may, is it because we don't have enough faith that we couldn't have the strength like moving the mountain?
最後我哋睇一睇30、31節。
Last we look at the verse 30 and 31.
我哋一齊讀30、31節，一齊1、2、3。
Let's read together.
他們嘅眼睛就開了，耶穌切切嘅吩咐他說：你們要小心，不可叫人知道。他們去竟把他的名傳遍了那地方。嗱，好多時咧，當我哋讀到呢一啲耶穌咁樣嘅回應咧，我哋嘅內心咧即刻唔會諗點解，不過我哋會諗：喂，耶穌點解唔講得？
So when we look at those passages, usually our response is asking why. We cannot say it.
嗱，你會留意咧，耶穌喺呢度唔係講笑嘅。
But you can look at here that Jesus really seriously.
嗱，中文聖經咧，用咁樣形容佢話耶穌切切嘅囑咐他們。
In the Bible, in the Chinese Bible, the meaning is really strictly charge them.
嗱 ，NIV 咧就用Jesus warned them sternly 嚇。咁但係咧，其實喺原文裏邊咧，但係耶穌嚴嚴地吩咐佢 strictly charge them。
Even the NIV version is they just warn them, but in the true meaning is really strictly charge them.
耶穌好嚴肅嘅。
It's really strictly.
我吩咐你啊，唔准講。
I charge you not to say.
嗱，弟兄姊妹，我哋就會諗啊，點解唔講得？
But brothers, we would just think why we can't say it.
嗱，你又唔好問我點解，不過你留翻呢個問題問耶穌啦。
In which you don't ask me why, but you can leave this message to Jesus.
不過咧，我哋上次去諗一諗嘅時候咧，你會留意整個第9章發生一個咁樣嘅嘅事件嘅連續。
When we look at the whole chapter 9, there's a series of story.
嗱，耶穌之前咧第9章開始嘅時候醫治一個癱嘅時候咧，嗰啲嘅法利賽人啊、文士嘅人咧就喺心裏邊懷好多惡念。
So when we in the early chapter 9, when Jesus started to heal the dumb man, that the Pharisee have lots of bad thinking.
嗱，咁跟住咧第11節咧，當耶穌去接納嗰個馬太嘅啦，跟住利未咧，咁跟住咧嗰個稅吏長，耶穌就嗰啲嘅人咧就會話：耶穌點解你同稅吏做朋友啊？
So when Jesus has been with the tax collectors, so the Pharisees challenging Jesus, or why Jesus makes friends with the tax collector. 嗱，你繼續咧，如果耶穌繼續佢彰顯名聲嘅時候，你跟住咧耶穌醫好一個啞巴鬼附着嘅人嘅時候，嗰班法利賽人即刻話：耶穌你係靠鬼王講鬼啊！ So even further, then when Jesus heals or someone get possessed by demon, and the Pharisees charge that Jesus is by the prince of demon that he drive out demons. 嗱，我哋唔知究竟耶穌叫佢嚴嚴吩咐唔講係咩原因，不過會唔會係其中一個可能？因為當時嗰個嘅環境已經個 tension 好大。So we may know the true reason that Jesus asked them not to say, but we can pay attention that at that moment already that there's a tension between Jesus and the Pharisees. 如果呢兩個盲嘅繼續講埋嘅時候，會唔會加增耶穌同當時嘅法利賽人嗰種嘅張力，以致神好困難繼續喺嗰個地方去傳道咧？ So is it possible that when the two blind men still talk about the healing, and then that we increase the tension between the Pharisee and Jesus, and give lots of challenge to Jesus' work in the future? 或者如果呢兩個盲嘅去繼續去傳耶穌，啲人問佢：咁耶穌幫你咩啊？我醫好咗我啊！So with those two blind men still spread the message that Jesus was able to heal them.
哎呀，咁跟住咧就可能繼續更加多嘅有病嘅人咧去揾耶穌，咁耶穌你日日咧就唔係傳道啦，日日就醫病。
So then maybe Jesus will be lots of sick people may go to Jesus for healing, and then Jesus will spend more time in healing than spread the gospel.
因為你會睇到咧，耶穌曾經咧都試過有嗰度好多嘅人咧去嚟揾佢，以致難咗去傳道，所以耶穌要去別嘅城。
So there was a situation in the past that because lots of people asking for healing, and then Jesus has to move to another city to spread the gospel.
或者你有冇諗過，耶穌吩咐呢兩個嘅瞎子唔好講嘅時候，係為佢哋嘅好處？
Or have you ever think that it's for the benefit of the two blind men that they don't? Jesus asked them not to say it.
你有冇記得約翰福音第9章講到生來瞎眼嗰個人？
Remember the story in the book of John, chapter 9, the one who born blind.
呢個被耶穌醫好之後
，when the blind man was get healed by Jesus,
周圍啲文士法利賽人就去問佢：你邊個醫你？
the scholar and the Pharisee asked the blind man, "Who healed you?"
跟住呢個人話：耶穌醫我咯。
And the blind man said, "Tell them that it is Jesus."
跟住嗰啲嘅人話：佢長着咩能力？
So they asked, "What's the power you get from?"
跟住佢話從神嘅能力㗎。你犯罪。
So when they say, "Oh, it's from the strength of God," and then, "Oh, you're the sinner."
跟住呢個人話：如果唔係從神嚟，點會有能力能夠將一個生來瞎眼嘅人能夠重見光明？
And the Brahmins respond, "Oh, if this is not by the strength of God, how could someone heal the one?"
跟住嗰啲法利賽人文士啊，跟住話叫你嘅父母嚟，你梗係唔係生來瞎眼，你真係喺度做馬嘅。
Then say, "Oh, ask your parents to come. You are not. It is fate that you are born blind."
跟住嗰啲父母話：唔好搞我，唔好搞我！佢已經成年啦，你自己問佢。
And the parents come and say, "Oh no, the blind man is already an adult. My son is already an adult."
咁嗰啲法利賽人又再問呢兩個瞎子。
But with that case happen again, that the Pharisee asked those people.
呢個瞎子即係回答嗰班法利賽人嘅時候，我已經答過你啦，你再問你係咪想做耶穌嘅門徒啊？跟住嗰班法利賽人反晒面啊！我係摩西嘅門徒，你我唔係嗰個罪人嘅。
So we say, "Oh, well, you've been keep asking, do you want to be a disciple of Jesus?" And then this Pharisee maybe get angry. And
你知唔知呢個生來瞎眼嘅人嘅遭遇最後係？
So do you know what happened to those born blind men eventually?
佢被呢啲法利賽人文士趕出會堂。
So they were being get kicked out of the synagogue forever.
弟兄姊妹，會堂係當時猶太人嗰個社區中心，嗰個宗教嘅中心，係佢哋嘅生命嘅裏邊一部分。
So at that time, the synagogue is a culture center, is a religion center, is part of the Jewish life.
唔單止講出你嘅家門，講出你成條村，你唔好再叫聖翁啦。
That means not just kick out from the synagogue, kick out from the whole family or even the culture.
耶穌叫啲兩個瞎子唔好講，會唔會怕咗去遭遇呢啲咁樣嘅情況？
Jesus asked the two blind men not to say it, maybe just be afraid of that bad experience happen again.
唔知道。
We don't know.
但係我肯定一件事。
But I can affirm one thing.
耶穌仍然吩咐佢 肯定期望嗰兩個嘅人係聽佢講嘅。
So, but I'm sure that Jesus strictly charged them not to say it. Is really want them to follow his instruction or the charge.
撒母耳記上講，聽命勝於獻祭。
In the book of in the first Samuel, it said obeying the voice of the Lord is more important than the sacrifice.
好多時喺你我嘅人生，我哋好期望神你聽我講。
In most of the time, we want just God to listen to us.
你俾我嘅分數要95分。
God, you have to give me mark 95%.
93分，神你都冇聽我講。
Or just got 93%, then God, you didn't listen to me.
不過佢97分都唔覺得神聽佢講喎。
But we've got 97% and say, wow, I still don't think that God listened.
弟兄姊妹嘅時候，神係期望唔係淨係好似我哋咁，神期望就當你信靠佢，係你我聽佢講。
So what God's expectation is when we are really trusting God, that we should listen to God's instruction or the charge.
呢個經歷嘅裏邊唔係停留喺好定唔好，醫好定醫好。
So this story is not talking about that it's just healing or not healing.
而係停留喺呢兩個人喺佢繼續嘅人生有冇繼續聆聽神自己嘅聲音。
But the story ending is more about did those two blind men still follow Jesus' instruction or the charge?
醫好兩個盲人係一個經歷。
Healing the two blind men is an experience.
對呢兩個嘅人係一個嘅體驗。
It is something that they have experienced reflect themselves for the two blind men.
聖經有咁耶穌醫過咁多嘅人，將呢兩個嘅人記載喺馬太福音嘅時候，佢有咩心意？
So God has been healing so many people, but God still record those two blind men in the book of Matthew. What is the true meaning that God want to bring?
對今日你同我喺呢個pandemic 嘅情況，或者準備聽日 lockdown 嘅情況嘅時候，值得我哋再一次認定。
So in such a situation that we are in a pandemic and tomorrow we more place to lock down, and then what is this story really reflect on us?
我哋需要用信心繼續去依靠神。
We need to use our faith to trust in God and rely on God.
我哋信得過呢位係彌賽亞，係你同我嘅救世主。
We trust that this is the Messiah. There's only salvation for us.
我信得過，我哋需要唔好放棄，繼續去依靠。
We believe and trust that we should keep on and be persistent in our prayer.
我哋信得過神係有能力，但係我哋需要咩啊？用一種嘅信心去信靠。
We believe that God is full of power, but we need trust and faith to depend on it.
Pandemic 更多安靜嘅時間，讓我哋有更多安靜嘅時間嚟到神嘅面前，聆聽、順服佢喺自己嘅聲音。
So during the pandemic, we have more time to we should have more time to be peaceful and as a pause to think about listen to God's own word.
聖誕節天使傳一個咩嘅信息？
During Christmas, what the message from the angels try to spread?
他要將生一個兒子，他要起名叫耶穌，因他要將自己嘅百姓從罪惡裏救出來。
She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from the sins.
耶穌期望你同我喺呢個時候去傳嘅，好似天使嘅信息，一個盼望，卸去罪，卸去永恆嘅咒詛，而係享受永恆嘅祝福，一個大喜嘅信息。
So Jesus spread expect us to spread the message, a good message that there's a way to save us from the sins.
讓我哋調教我哋嘅信心，好好嘅倚靠神。
Let us to adjust our faith so that we can rely or trust in God even more.
讓我哋唱一首詩歌作為回應。
Let's sing the response song.